Hi, everyone. Welcome to Hire Like a Unicorn. My name is Ina Yulo. I am the Startup Marketing Manager for UK and Ireland here at AWS. So from the very beginning, startups have always been at the core of what we do at AWS. And whether it is as a technical partner, a business partner, or a growth partner, we really do aim to support startups at every age of their journey. So one of the things kept coming up when we started reaching out and talking to our startup community, that one of the biggest challenges, whether it was from an early stage startup to hyper-growth startup, was that hiring and retaining talent was very difficult. So here's something I heard last week, and I'd like to get some answers from the crowd. How many jobs do you think there are listed now in London that require AWS skills? 500? 42, 2,000? Okay, the actual answer is 7,200. Okay, so we see that challenge at AWS as well. And that's why we have different programs like Get IT, AWS Restart, AWS Academy, and Educate that really aim to bridge the gap between cloud skills and bringing that to the people, the individuals, and students who could really benefit from them and secure those in-demand jobs. So today, if you are part of the Amazon recruitment team, if you are one of the students as part of the Generate, Restart, Academy, Educate program, or if you are an internal member and are a bar raiser, can you please raise your hands? So everybody at the networking session, feel free to reach out to these people, ask them more about those programs, or see if there are any openings at Amazon. Now, moving on. One of the things that I wanted to go over is I wanted to see as well in this room, could everyone just go on to slido.com on your phones, please? And, sorry? Oh, Wi-Fi password, gosh. Yeah, you're right. Do you, it's out. Broken wires, capital B, capital W, and there's an at 2019, 2 ats. At 2019. So sorry, broken wires, capital B, capital W, at 2019. And so what you'll get when you get to that Slido website is we would like to understand why you're here. Are you here because you're hiring? Are you here because you're seeking opportunities? Or did you just want to listen to the speakers? Which is completely fine if that's the reason why you're here. Free Wi-Fi, well, once you get the password, right? So some of the answers are trickling in. Yes, it's on guest. Very good split right now. We've got I'm hiring is at 42%, seeking opportunities at 39%, wanted to listen to the speakers, 18%. So good job, guys. Great. So we've got a great program for you today. We're going to start off with Jono, who's going to be talking about the unique way that we hire at Amazon. And then we are also going to be having the panel session with our 3 startup unicorn clients. They'll talk to you about the different lessons that they've learned throughout their journeys. They'll hopefully share some mistakes also that they've learned so that you can mitigate those. They'll also talk about what it's like at their companies, and for those of you especially who are looking for a job within a startup, they might give you some tips that would help you with your job applications. So without further ado, I'll turn you over to Jono, and again, we will have networking after the panel session, so feel free to go mix and mingle after all of this.
Thank you very much. Thank you. And wow, what a turnout. Excellent. It was great to have you, everybody here. Obviously, really keen to hear about how Amazon hires. So welcome to Hiring the Amazon Way, 10 best practices for hiring at scale. So I'm Jono, and I'm from AWS, and I work in the global startup business development team. And I'll be talking to you I'll be talking you through why it's important to have a solid hiring process as you grow and scale your business, and why it should be backed up by a very clear and concise understanding of your culture, okay, within your business, because that's effectively how Amazon does it. So I have a very unique role within Amazon. I'm called an Amazon bar raiser. Anyone know or heard of that term before in the audience? Few hands up. Excellent stuff. Okay, well, I'll go through the detail of what an Amazon bar raiser is and how perhaps you should adopt something similar as you scale your business to make sure you keep the hiring bar very high. And obviously then I'll be talking a little bit about how to do this at scale, because as you scale your business, it's impossible as a founder to actually keep involved in the hiring process as you scale the business. So it's really how to set up a process or a mechanism, as we call it at Amazon, in order to scale the business and make sure you keep that bar very high. So now, among the tech giants, Amazon employs far more than any of the other ones. Anyone know why? It's actually a few interesting answers. So the reason why is we employ anybody, say more than Apple, for example, is that we obviously hire a lot of people in our warehouses. Okay, so we're up to about 750,000 people, as it said here on the slide. And obviously, differs from Apple, for example, who, for example, don't hire people in manufacturing, they outsource that. So we obviously are a very different business. So the question is then, since we are growing so fast as a business, as you can see on this slide, how do we keep the bar high? Now, hands up in the room, who has had a mishire or had to handle a mishire as part of their managerial careers? Oh my word. Okay, so we're talking about 60% of the room here for those on the video. So it's a huge problem. And as you can see from this quote, which I absolutely love, that they should be the stature for you if you get it right more than 52% of the time, which is obviously not an ideal scenario. So according to studies, the average manager makes hiring mistakes about 50% of the time. And the average cost is about 6 times the base salary for an account manager, or 15 times the base salary for a manager, and 27 times that of an executive, right? And so why is it so high? Why is the cost so high for mishiring? Well, there's a few reasons for that. First of all, it can be very disruptive. It can be very disruptive because you have to redistribute funds around the business in order to get somebody to replace the individual that you've had to replace. It can obviously do reputational harm because at the end of the day, if somebody's in a public kind of position within the company, then it may cause a bit of a problem around the brand. It obviously wastes people's time. It causes a lot of disruption. It can cause people to leave. And obviously, that's not a good thing. So how do we do it? How does Amazon mitigate the risks? We don't like mishiring, really, at Amazon. And so we have a very, very strong process, which has been obviously developed over a number of years. And I'm going to share some of the insights for you today. So here's 10 examples and 10 sort of what we call interesting sort of things that we do at Amazon in order to mitigate the risk of a mishire. First one is we're always hiring. So as you can see from this great quote, great companies don't wait. They continue to hire. It's all right for us to say that, right, Amazon, because we're obviously a growing and scaling company. But we are prepared to wait for the right candidate, but we are always hiring. We're always thinking about getting people on board. So whenever we're in a situation where there's a potential candidate, then we'll interview them, and we'll find a home for that candidate. Hiring is everybody's job at Amazon, most important thing, okay? You're not a good Amazonian if you don't get involved in the hiring process. We encourage all our new attendees, or new employees, sorry, to attend what's called Making Great Hiring Decisions, which is a course about hiring at Amazon. And we often do a LinkedIn kind of review where we get people in a room and kind of go through everybody's network to find out if there's any suitable or similar people, like your good selves, for example, to see if you're a good fit for Amazon. So it's an important thing that we do that. And as Thor says, obviously, you don't want to wait to hire the right person. Really good people can actually change or modify or basically train up very quickly in order to do the things that you want them to do. And that's really important. In fact, actually, on the LinkedIn thing, I actually was approached the very next day of when I joined in order to get referrals. Referrals are a big thing for us at Amazon. And a large proportion, a percentage of our successful hires that we have. So always be hiring is a very important thing. And of course, the biggest challenge for most people, I think, if you ask a lot of companies of any size, startup all the way up to global enterprise, the biggest challenge for any